Good morning, friends. I hope you're doing well today. I feel like I have not done this in a very long time, even though I know I did this last week. But I'm sitting here going, what all do I need to do? What all do I need to say? So if you're on, thanks for joining me, and shout out at me, say hello. Just making sure I made it on here. Perfect. Okay. It's always so funny. I say it every time. The frame that I see in my camera above looks so different than what I see on the computer or phone. So it's like so zoomed in on the camera, but over there it's so zoomed out. I'm just making sure you're not seeing, too much craziness happening around my thing here. So, like I said, if you're on, good morning. Go ahead and give me a shout out so I know you're on. You can see me okay. Oops, I'm knocking things over. Yeah, so like I said, I feel like I haven't been on here in a while, and it's really strange. I think it's because we just wrapped up our winter scrappy camp, and I was doing like 2 lives a week with this and that, and now I'm like, oh, I'm back to 1 again. So I feel like I need to add something else during the week. So we'll see. Well, stay tuned. Maybe we'll add more. But on that note, there is a scrappy summer camp coming up that you're probably going to want to be a part of. It is going to be a 10-week virtual challenge, just like winter camp. And you'll have a special Facebook group to join, and I'll post 3 challenges a week for 10 weeks. And you can get in a drawing for each one and all that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited about it. It's back by popular demand because I've done it for 3 years in a row now. And I added winter this year. So I would love to have you join me. I believe the price point's going to be about $50, but that's for the whole summer. So what a great, great price point. And you get 10 challenges, you get motivated, you get a special group, you get deals every week. There's prizes for each challenge, there's grand prizes at the end, you get fun goodies. So, I mean, it's pretty worth it to me. I actually end up spending a little more than I intend on everybody. It's fun though, I enjoy it. So definitely holler at me if you want in on that. I believe I'm going to do it like June 7 through August 16, I believe is what I published out there. The other thing is National Scrapbook Day. I am doing a 2-day thing. It's going to be like a Friday evening and an all-day Saturday. And that's going to be May 2nd and 3rd. And Friday the 2nd will be 5 to 10 p.m. and Saturday will be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you'll have plenty of scrap time. You'll have a place to scrap. There'll be prizes. There'll be, like maybe a class or 2, a make and take. We're just going to have fun. We're going to celebrate scrapbooking. I also want to offer a page class that weekend on Saturday for any of your friends who you're trying to get into scrapbooking, or they've seemed a little intrigued, and if you bring a friend to that, you get $15 back. So it's a really good incentive. The cost is $35, but you'll get $15 back if you bring a friend that's new to me or to scrapbooking that Saturday if they show up for my class. So I'll get more details out about that. You can sign up. There's a QR code. I bet you can't scan it out there, but I'll make sure to put links out. So I would love to have you. It's going to be a lot of fun, so hopefully you can come. And then today we are working on our challenge from this week in my Ashley Scrappy VIPs. I post a challenge every Friday morning. You have about a week to do it. It's due like Thursday at midnight. And then that Friday morning before I post the next one, I draw a winner. So you have incentive to win, and you get pages done, and it's a lot of fun. So it's just a way to keep us scrapping, and this week we're doing this cute little layout. Now, if you printed this off my blog before, because I had a blog post out there, it probably turned out like this. I don't know why. Word is so weird. Microsoft Word, and then when I printed to PDF, it did this. So then I tried it on, Google Docs, and this was fine. So I re-uploaded that to my blog if you want to go reprint it. If you are a printer with this, sorry about that glitch. I didn't notice it till this morning when I went to print it, so you can go back and print it. But I put like a nice, easy little printable instructions on my blog every week. I've started that again. The last couple weeks I started, so you can go in there and print that. But otherwise, I'm going to walk you through this because I think I love doing lives because people get overwhelmed sometimes when they see a layout and they're like, oh my word, I can't touch that. That's a lot of letters. That's a lot of layers. And I've learned if you just go through it step by step, it's not bad. You really get done with it. You're like, oh, that wasn't so hard, because you're using basic tools and just taking it one step. So that's my purpose of these lives, is to try to ease your woes, ease your worries, your anxieties, and help you get a page done that looks gorgeous. And you can plug and play. You can do it later. You know, you can come back and watch it. I put these on YouTube as well, so very easily to find. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna do some gutting today because we have 3 layers of paper here, and we're gonna gut 2 of them because I like to save the paper under that one's covered, right? So these are the pictures I'm working with. So we ate around the world at the festival booth in Epcot, and we got some wild things. So this is a tamale from, you know what, I actually pulled up my little book here. I actually scrapbooked one of these already, so I have a second one. It's kind of funny because my husband and I both grabbed one. That was a tamale, and it was like a cheese tamale. It was so good, and just scrapping these pictures makes me so hungry, which is funny because I'm dieting right now, so I'm like, oh, I want food, but it goes away eventually. Has poblano peppers, corn and cheese masa topped with poblano cream sauce, crema mexicana, pickled carrots and onions and chives. And I will say the pickled stuff, I was like, ugh. And those were actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So, and then this guy, this is the one that was crazy, but I loved it. This was a seasonal fruit parfait. It was a sweet chili sauce, but it had a nice kick. It had tahini in it and mango Dole Whip with some fruit in there, some fresh fruit. I loved it, but I love spicy things. And so I just ate that thing up. My husband tried it. He's like, yeah, I like that, but he doesn't like as much spicy on his stuff as I do, which is super funny. So I chowed that down. I loved it. And he got the float here, and this was tangerine soft serve. I did try this. It was yummy too. And it had Barks Red cream soda in it, which was so interesting and so tasty. So I just wanted to walk through those. I love doing the Epcot festivals. I love going places where I can try different things because we're big foodie people, my husband and I. Lucy maybe not as much. She's more adventurous for a kid, I would say, but she loved the tamale. We all got like our own because we loved it so much. It was terrible. And then we just tried each other's stuff. So I love that kind of stuff where that's like vacation for us. We're like, we just want to try new things and see new things and eat new things. And so that was so fun. So I'm working on notes today. I'm kind of cleaning up remnants from Epcot and like the last few pictures I have at Disney, and they're like, here's some random food, and here's, you know, I have like part of the animation experience left from Animal Kingdom, and so I literally have like 3 pages left to go of Disney, and then some title pages I realized I need as I was flipping through the books I was putting together. So I'm so close, you guys. It's crazy. And so when I get done with those, I'll make sure to show them to you. But I am gonna do these today, and I picked out some Boho Escape. And I struggled to find a full sheet of this paper because I loved it, especially with this, but it's definitely not an 11 by 11 piece of paper, and there's a chunk missing out of it. So I'm swapping it out for Sun Soaked, which works just as good to me. It's not as bold and vibrant. It's a little different, but it's actually pretty good too because there's pinks in here and this peachy orange. So that's going to work out just fine. And I'm going to use this for more accenting and stuff like that. So, and then I have my scraps. I just wanted to show you guys how collections can also work together. So these are all, I believe most of these are Boho Escape, and then this one piece is from the current Sun Soaked collection. Just to show you they can play together, and definitely check your options outside of the collection you might have. And I'm going to use some navy. This was actually the back of a mat. It was like a weird mat pack I got. They were selling like Japanese papers off for a while, and I scored this one somehow. I don't know if I ordered, if I won it, or it was like part of something I earned, like a surprise box or something. And so I'm gonna use the back of this because I can't really foresee myself using this side. I don't know. I'm not sure. So maybe I'll switch it up for just a navy piece of paper, but I'm fine using it if I'm trying to use up stuff. So I don't know. I'm good with it. So we're just going to use these as our layers, these 3 right here, and then these are going to be kind of our ribbons where the letters are going to go, probably more this side because it has to be later. So to get started, we are going to gut a little bit. So you're going to need your 12-inch trimmer, like so, and see, now I'm like second guessing. Do I just get a navy piece of paper and save my mats in case one day I need these? Yeah, you know what? I'm about to go to Mexico. I better just get a navy piece of paper. One moment, please, as I you know, last week I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And now that I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I might want a different piece. You ever do that? You play that game where you're like, I don't care if I use this piece up, and then you go to use it and you're like, oh, actually, never mind. There we go. There's a navy piece. All right, so we're going to go ahead and swap that guy out because I probably should save my mats for, you know, that. All right, so you're going to start with a 12 by 12 base. However, I'm going to gut it because, as you can probably see in the example, this little line around here, that's all you see of this paper for your base. So I'm going to gut it so I can have, you know, more for later to mat with. The photos aren't matted on here, but I will save my navy paper as best as I can. So what you're going to do to gut, if you've never gutted before and you're like, yeah, I can't do that, it's actually very easy once you get rolling on it. And the more you practice it, the easier it gets. You're just going to line your paper up at the 1-inch line. Now, this depends on how wide of a frame you need. This frame is very narrow. It's only like about a 1/2 inch around. Actually, it's like a 1/4 inch, I believe, because you cut it 1/2 by 1/2. So I'm just going to cut it at 1 inch to be safe. I like to have a little extra give there. And then you're going to line your trimmer, your cutter up at the 1 inch on this ruler. Now, it's probably hard to see, but there's like a 1 inch line there, and there's a white line on this that you can line up. So I'm going to put my head down here a little bit and look, and there's like a little white dot or a little white notch on the bottom of the housing here. So I can see exactly where my cutter is going. And I'm going to push, and I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to stop at 11. And if you did not know, the front of the housing to this white line on the side of your housing of your trimmer, it's 1 inch. Creative Memories did that on purpose, so when you're cutting, you know to stop your housing. Like I stopped it at 12, because I knew I needed to stop at 11 for my white line. So I stopped the front of this at 12. So that's a little tip with the trimmer. I love this trimmer. It has so many nifty tricks like that. And again, I'm gonna go back. I turn my paper, put it at the 1 inch, go back to that 1 inch line. I'm gonna cut all the way down to 11. Okay. And if you mess this up, it's not a big deal. In fact, once your page is put together, you can hardly tell you messed up. It is a little more difficult if you cut all the way through on accident, but you can make it work. So don't panic. Or if you cut a little too far on your line, that's okay too. You're not really going to notice it. But just to help preserve some of your cardstock and paper, if you ever need to layer things, like in this example, try gutting because it'll save you a little bit. All right, so see, I still have some corners that connected, so I'm going to get my micro tip scissors, and that's totally fine. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to trim, kind of make them, you know, trim the little hairs holding them together, a little piece of the paper. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover this, right? So you don't need to worry if it got messed up or something. It's going to be fine. Now this I'm going to set aside for another project. All right, and we're going to gut again, so I'm going to leave my scissors handy. So there's our bottom layer. So you can use a whole piece if you really want to. I just wanted to show you guys that tip because it can save you some paper, especially this one. I love this paper. I don't really want to cover it again and know like, all this paper underneath, I could use all of this, you know, that's not showing. So again, I'm going to get this one. And so you're going to get a couple looks at how to do this in case you're uncomfortable with it. All right, so once again, I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch. It's wider. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think 1 inch will suffice. I'm going to make a 1 inch frame like we did with the last one. Sorry, I'm like backing up over here. My paper is running in there. I don't need my letters right now, so you know what? We're going to move that. I am horrible about working on top of stuff. It's bad. I just stack and stack and then keep working. I'm like, where's that go? I lose pictures all the time. It's great. I'm sure you can relate. All right, so again, lining up at the 1 inch, putting my trimmer not all the way to the top. I'm going to go down to the 1 inch line. And again, you can see the little white notch if you put your head down there. Or just, you know, look at your white line and see if it's closest to that 1 inch on the housing ruler here. Push, go down to 11. Okay, turn. Again, you're going to line up on the 1 inch line, back up to 1 inch, down to 11. And you're going to 1-inch line. You're just gonna keep going around and around. Oh, and actually I was supposed to trim this smaller. Uh-oh, I should have trimmed it first. Okay, hold on. I have not done this in a while. All right, we gotta trim a 1/2 inch off each side, and that's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. I caught it in time. I've done this before, it's fine. All right, so we're gonna trim that off, and I'm gonna trim on this side too. So I'm gonna show you if you make an oops, you know, you can fix it. I did that on purpose, right? Oh, is that 1/2 inch? I think so. It's bigger than this side. That's weird. Oh, I think I did too much on the one side. That's okay. All right. Like I said, it's been a while ago. I don't think I've scrapped since last Wednesday. All right. So 1 inch again after you trim your paper to that 11.5 by 11.5. So funny. I screwed that up. That's okay. And then you're gonna go down. And this time we're gonna stop at the 11.5 because we cut a 1/2 inch off. So just adjust accordingly. Now you're going to see what happens when you mess up, and that's okay. Like I said, it's all going to work out. This paper, I think I cut too small though on one side, so we'll see what I did here. I've been very flighty the last week, so I apologize. It's been bad. Okay, and again, we're going to take our micro tips. Oh, I really didn't cut. I think that's where I realized I made a mistake and I didn't go the whole way. There we go. Go ahead and see this one I almost cut all the way through because I realized I had to go back and trim a 1/2 inch off. Oopsies. Alright, and I'm going to save, you know, this is what we gutted. I'm going to save that. So, sorry if you're doing this along with me. Sometimes it's better to watch me before I do it. Alright, so this is going to look funny because, yeah, see I trimmed too much off one end, but that's okay. Can't hardly tell. It's going to look like it has a big hole in it, but you know what? We're going to cover that, so it's okay. And I trimmed almost all the way. I'm going to show you where my mistake was right here. I almost went all the way through because I had to trim that extra part off I forgot about. So you won't even be able to tell by the time it's done, and that's okay. All right, so this one, we're not going to gut it. We're just going to trim it down to 11 by 11. So, okay, so before you gut any paper, trim it to the size it needs to be. So, showed you guys that lesson right there, didn't I? All right. Like I said, I've been so flighty lately. It's hilarious and not at the same time. Okay. So, you're going to trim an inch off one way and then an inch off the other way to make another square. And there we go. Making sure we're good. See, I trimmed too much off on one side, so I might do a little more because I messed up one of those cuts and now you can't hardly see it. Oops, I don't want to cut that much. We're gonna do like another 1/4 inch, I believe. Don't do this because this isn't part of it. I just messed up before, so follow the instructions, not me. Don't do as I do, do as the instructions say. All right, there we go. Now we should be all squared up, no pun intended. Okay, so mine's gonna look a little more wonky, but that's okay. And this, like I said, from the Sun Soaked. I love this paper. It's more tropically, but there's also these fun papers like this that works really well too. So I decided to use that when I didn't have enough of the one that I really wanted to use. So that's okay because I discovered this one and it worked out. Now to put frames on, I tend to like to use my mini tape runner, and that's the one where the squares are like a little square. I'm going to try to show you on my mat. It won't stick to my mat, that's fine. They're just like little squares. They're smaller than regular tape runners, but they work great for frames because they're not as wide. So, go around my edges here, my corner. Oops, daisy. My goodness. I'm not pushing hard enough or something. Okay. I was out of regular tape runner last week when I did a frame, and I was like, no! So I had to be very careful with my regular. I had to like kind of dot it on, because if you make it too wide, it's going to show up on the other side of your frame, and that you don't really want. Man, there's like hair. My cats get up here, I swear. Okay, and then we're going to kind of line up our other frame here, our smaller piece right here. Oops, I kind of went too far one way. Hold a second. I'm trying to be gentle because I do have that piece that's ready to break off. But like I said, once we're done with this, you won't even tell I've made that mistake. So it'll be all good. All right, that's fine with me. All right, and then again, I'm going to repeat the same process My mats are all stacking up here. For our next piece, definitely get your corners really good. You don't have to be like, but you know, get pieces really good so your piece sticks really well on there. I'm gonna go this way with my pattern. Yeah, it's not exactly square because I messed that whole thing up, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Forgot to trim my paper and then I panicked and trimmed too much off. It's fine with me. So, alright, hopefully yours looks better than mine, but that's okay. Okay, so we have our layers all down. Mine aren't great, they're not as even, but that's fine. And then we're going to cut our photos to 3.5 by 5. So these should work out okay still. My photos, like I say every time, they're a little smaller than 6 by 4. Put these away before I hurt myself. And so I'm not trimming too much off. I'm only trimming like, man, maybe 1/4 of an inch off to make the 5 inches. And these are all snacks. This is a great layout for things like this because all of my pictures are just snacks and I can totally zoom in and crop out. So then we gotta trim it to 5, so we're doing 3.5 by 5 for all 3 photos. You're getting like the real dose of Ashley today. I'm making mistakes, you know, seeing all the food I love to eat. So funny. 3.5. I'm probably gonna leave it this way. By 5. Okay. And we are not matting these. They are actually, according to this, you can mat them if you want, if you're a matter kind of person. Matter. You can mat them. However, according to the sketch, you don't need to. And if you do, you might need to trim your photos a little smaller because you want to see like the in-between stuff. So I'm not going to mat mine. I tell people all the time, I don't like matting. It's kind of funny. I think it's because my photos are always a different size and I hate trying to figure out what size a mat needs to be. So yeah, these would have worked out because I'm trimming my photos down, but if I don't have them out, I'm not going to. So it's too funny. And we're just going to hear them on top here. And you're going to see this layout's going to come together so fast. It would have come together even faster if I hadn't gutted my bottom papers there. But, oops, I'm sorry. I'm getting text and you guys are hearing it. Okay. I'm just going to turn that on. Do not disturb for now. Okay. And yes, so this would have gone even faster if I hadn't gutted those papers, right? Because I would just slap, and been done. All right, so look at that. We're pretty much done. All we're going to do is our little title strips now. And I know those look intimidating, but they're not. They're really not. They're actually pretty easy to make banners if you, even if you don't have a banner punch or something. So we need to cut little strips. Just making sure these are all the same size. Okay, so they're all 1 inch wide. So we need to pick out, so before I even cut anything, I want to pick out what I'm using here. The letters I'm using, I didn't have great options for this. I love these letters on here, but I never got those. I'm using black, so I probably don't want to use anything too dark. At the same time, I don't like the, well, maybe the pink would be okay, like further down. I don't like it at the top though. And then I have this burlap and this green. I think the green's gonna be just fine. And then I have this piece of paper I really wanted to use for the base, but it has some bamboo in it, so I might use the other side. So I think I will use these 4, as long as they're long enough and all that. And I will cut strips out of them because I think that should be okay. These are just like remnants I had left over from Boho Escape to use up. Trying to use up more paper. I know you all know what that feels like. So we're going to do 1 inch, and then each one's kind of a varying width, as you can see on here. Like our bottom one there, that's probably going to be our pink one just because it's so small. Although I got to consider my title too, right? So I'm probably just going to cut all these and then lay them out. I'll just do different sizes, but I think I'm going to put like eating all all the snacks or something like that. I know I'm cutting out of, but not eating all. I could put all of on the same line, the snacks or something like that, just because it's all snacks on this page. So I'm just gonna follow what they do, and then I will just layer my title accordingly just to keep it simple. So we have one that's 10 inches long, 10 1/4 inch long, 9 inches long, and then 6 1/4. So is it 6 1/4? That one looks so much shorter. It's probably after, you know, once you trim everything off. So I need to make sure these papers are the right length as well. And this one's just 10. So this can be my 10 by 1. That's fine. Like I said, it's going to be kind of randomized anyway. So once I, you know, get them all cut and figure out what sizes I want where. This one's longer. Pretty sure it's still full 12. Yep. So I'm just going to cut an inch off here. Or at the 1 inch wide. And then I'll probably make this one a little, my longest one. So it's 10 1/4. I think the rest are 12 from here on out. 10 1/4. Here's my other strip. And then my burlappy piece. It's kind of bent. It got kind of shoved in a folder and I was like, oops. It's seen better days. It's been well used and loved, I guess you can say. This one can be our 9. I'll cut the bent piece off. 9. Okay. Oops. Save that piece. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and use this pink one. I feel like I had scraps of this though. Let me double check. Just to make sure I'm not wasting half a sheet. I would like to make sure I don't have scraps of something before I go and trim it all down. Ooh, what's this one? I can see it, but how do I get to it? I had this piece too. Oh yeah, that's too dark. Alright. I gutted that one. So, just making sure. I don't like to use up a full piece of paper if I don't have to, and I feel like I had a lot of that weird pink one, but maybe not anymore. So, we're going to go ahead and just cut her 1 inch. The other option is I could use another end of this one, but I don't like the swirlies on the swirlies. So, 1 inch. And then this one's going to be like our 6 1/4 long one. So, our shortest one, just because it's going to blend in a little bit. I just want varying looks on my strips here. All right, so now we get to cut little banners. So I am going to need my micro tip scissors back again. And I'm going to show you a little trick. I think I showed you this last week when I was doing a layout, how to make some banners. You're just going to take one end of your paper. I think I want to take this end. And you're going to put 2 ends together gently. And if you do fold it, it's not a big deal. You're going to cut it off anyway. But you're going to gently fold them without making too big of a crease. And meet your ends together like this. And then you got to cut from this corner up to make a banner. So make sure you're cutting the right way. Don't cut from this corner. Cut where the ends are meeting, not the one where it's folded. Like so. And there you go. You got a banner. How fun is that? Hot tip. And then I'm going to do it again. And it will fold a little bit, but that's okay because once you have it all done, you're hardly going to notice it was folded there. And again, cut from where the ends meet, not where it's folded, because then you're going to get like an arrow, like a chevron, which is cool too. If you want to do chevrons, you could do it that way for an even chevron. But you definitely want to cut the proper way when making a banner. So, okay, let's cut this one. I kind of like this one too, because that was the one I was going to use. So it matches so nice, but I don't think it will match on top of that. So I think I'm just going to go bamboo. Okay, some of them are harder to fold than others because especially the strips this narrow. I wouldn't do it with anything too much smaller. I would just probably eyeball it and cut a V out of it. That's what these instructions say, cut a V. But this is kind of my strategy for cutting even banners. And even if they're not that even, I'm not too worried about it. You know me. I'm like, if it doesn't work, it's fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. It's like my motto in life. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Last one. So there you go. Hopefully you could see that okay. If you didn't know that technique, it's one that I've used lots and lots and lots to make fun little banners. Okay, I'm gonna re-sheath my scissors so I don't poke myself. All right, and then you can kind of build your title strips based on this, or you can mix and match. It's totally up to you. It's your page. My strips are a little lighter than, than usual. So I do have this green to help break it up. So I want to put that more in the middle. You're just going to kind of play with it. See how you like it. Put it the way you want it. And then I could put the shorter pink. Well, I don't know. I'll probably keep that at the bottom. Like so. It's going to be kind of a muted page, and that's totally fine because this is such a chill. This was like our most chill day in Epcot, so I want the page to also tell that story without me actually saying it. So very chill, very muted, very laid back, very, we weren't rushing around to rides. We just wanted to hang out, explore all the nooks and crannies, eat all the things that were on our list. We didn't get to all of them, but, we only have stomachs so big. So just, try different things. It was such a great day. That was one of our favorite days in Epcot. And then we literally found a spot for fireworks. My goodness, it must have been an hour and a half before the fireworks even started because we were just like, we're done. We just want to chill. We just want to sit on this bench, watch the sunset. We got to watch, we sat in Germany and just watch the sunset over the lagoon there. And fireworks from Magic Kingdom, we could see them all the way across the way before the Epcot ones even started. And the ball was changing colors. And it was just fun. Spaceship Earth, not the ball. Whatever you want to call it. The golf ball is what my husband calls it. But it was just a lovely day. So I love how this page is kind of coming across that way, very chill and cozy, not cozy, but chill and laid back and just like, whatever, it's fun, so I like how this green brings out the sauce in the tamale too. It's really fun. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue these down. Actually, I like that way too. You guys, I hate when this happens. I might run with the orange on this. I know it sticks into the color a little more, but I kind of like it. And it helps bring out some of the color. I'm going orange. I'm going to go rogue. I'm going to go orange. I know, it sounds crazy. All right, we're going to just go ahead and do that. Again, you can just dab it. You can use repositional if you're more comfortable with that at this point. To put your banners down. This side's fun too, but I feel like my letters are going to get lost in that if I use it. I debated using that side, but I was like, no, I better not. Sorry if you're seeing the top of my head. You can try to space these out as best as you can as well. You can space them out big or small. It's totally up to you. I'm just kind of going with it. They're not probably identically spaced, but I don't really care. So it's all good. All right, I like where this is going. Okay, so now I just need to add my letters, and then as you can see, they have this embellishment and journaling here. And I'll probably go back and do that. I have some fun. Oh, where'd they go? They're hiding. I have some fun tropical embellishments to kind of go with it. I have some Tropic Time, Boho Escape. I also have these ones from Escape to Paradise from my Puerto Vallarta collection, but I don't think those go as well. Kind of a more muted look I'm going for, as you can tell. So I'll probably add those on here as well. Maybe off camera. I'll see what time is it. I don't want to keep you guys like forever. Oh, it's only 10:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my title first. So, and what I like to do, I obviously want to know what you're gonna stick down, but on this layout especially, like especially in the strips that go this way, so like this way one, I might start backwards. That way I know I have enough room, and rather than starting here and trying to fit it. So pretty sure, was I gonna say snacking or eating around the world? Either way, there's an ing at the end, right? So, oh, I lost one of my sheets. Where is it? There it is. I think I'll say snacking. Snacking around. Could say snacking around the world, because that's kind of what we're doing here. Maybe that's what I'll do. I've changed my mind on title like since last week when I came up with this challenge. I was like, what can I put there? Alright, so I'm going to say snacking around the world. So like I said, we're going to want to start from the back. I need to make sure I have enough letters here. I did, but I don't remember if I was considering lowercase or all uppercase. I might just do all uppercase because that'll help it accentuate a little better. I don't need numbers either. Maybe that's why I didn't have those. So I like to go S, and this takes a little time. A, C, K, and G, around, and then I'm just kind of looking at all my letter options, making sure it's going to work. W-O. It should work. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to work my way backwards on this one, just so I know I have enough room. That's a good tip for every title you put on. Just make sure to even it up. Sometimes I start in the middle of a title. So, like, say I wanted to... Oh, my G is stuck. Get off of there. There we go. Got hooked on the little thing. Say I wanted to, like, center this, like, put snacking in the middle. I might put, like... CK in the middle first, and then work my way out on each side. So that's a little tip too if you're placing titles. A lot of times I will just purposely not place them straight. I'll kind of make my letters wonky on purpose because I stink at making them straight. These strips, however, are going to be very helpful in keeping my letters straight because there's like a line to work with. So, alright, so now I need an N. I could just cut off the camera when I do this, but we have a lot of time, so I'm not going to worry about it. And these aren't going to be exactly like this one. These are big block sticker letters. They were like really cool. That came with a vintage sheet collection. I didn't get those letters. I think they're still sitting on my wish list, to be honest, because I love them. But I had so many alphabets to use up, you guys. Like, I was like, I have so many alphabets. I shouldn't order more right now. But sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had bigger letters, you know, because they would work better on this page. But I think it's going to be okay. So, you do what you got to do. Snacking. It's hard to spell backwards sometimes. So we have king. Need a C. I was not the best speller in school. I loved grammar. I loved, you know, learning how commas work, and I had that down pat, but oh my goodness, you guys, I could not spell. So I can spell much better now, but in school it was rough for me. Which is so funny because I loved English and reading and writing, but I couldn't spell. And you know what? I would just write and not care. I'd just write it the way I thought it was meant to be written. And my teacher's like, yeah, that's not how you spell alien, Ashley. And I was like, oops. So, it's so funny. All right. Yeah, but I've gotten better. Don't worry. I can spell. Math, however, I'm still not great at all the time. Depends what it is, I guess. And as my daughter gets older, oh my goodness, I'm so glad she's good at math because I'm like, honey, I don't know if I can help you with this. Like, she's starting to get in to like order of operations, which is fine. I still know that. But there's sometimes I'm like, we had an argument the other day because we were arguing over what comes first, multiplication or division. Did you know they're pretty much even? It's whatever comes first. And not an expression. I had to Google it. It was horrible. It was so funny. All right, around. I gotta stay focused here, sorry. In this one, yeah, we're gonna work from this way over, but these letters are so small, I wonder if it's gonna be weird if I do that. I might, I'm debating starting the other way with this one too, because they're just gonna be so far apart from each other. Maybe I'll just randomly start it here. Like I said, you're just going to have to work with what you have, and it's going to look great no matter what. So, I could always go back and move these too. The stickers, like, yes, they become permanent, but at first you can kind of move them around. They might pull up your paper, like the color off your paper. I've had that issue before where I tried to move a sticker and it like peeled up the color off my paper. I was like, no. Oh my goodness. I hate when these little pieces stick to me. It's so funny. And you know what? The multi-purpose tool is very helpful here, and I'm not using it. I should probably get it around. Where is my multi-purpose tool? I haven't touched that guy in quite a while. Where is he? Here he is, and my little caddy. All right. Okay. Around. I like to like put my little letter on my point here because it just helps you see better instead of your big old finger in the way. There you go. And like every time I use my multi-purpose tool, I'm like, oh my word, that made it so much better. And then I forget to use it the next time. I'm like, why are my letters so messed up? It's because I can, oops, that one jumped right off there. Just my big cumbersome finger is holding this little letter. I've used the tweezers before too to kind of place these. Still gonna be too far away, I feel. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Just because my letters are so much smaller than the example, I'm gonna go ahead and don't worry, I'm gonna move those. They're not gonna look like that. Have more faith in me. Oops, I said Google, and Google wants to talk to me now. Sorry, Google. And sometimes I like to use my multi-purpose tool to like hold it down while I'm trying to get my finger off of it. Like the multi-purpose tool is very helpful. Obviously, I use it to peel things up, like I could right now probably. But it's also helpful when I'm placing little things like this, because it helps me just have another little point to grab where I need to. Okay. And it helps you get your stickers off without too much damage, which is something I need to work on because sometimes I'm too impatient. I'm just like, pull it off, and then I peel up the sticker and I separate the sticker from itself, and it just ends up being a mess. So that's how you spell around, right? Oh my goodness, it looks so weird to me. Around. You know when you put a title on and you're like, second guessing if that's how you're supposed to spell it. I'm pretty sure that's right, but it looks funny. Around the world. Comment if I'm wrong, or comment if I'm right. Just, you know, reaffirm me. That's fine. I'm a words of AF girl, so you need to reaffirm me all the time. If anything's misspelled, holler at me and I'll fix it. Okay. Around. Unless you can't spell too, then maybe don't tell me. I don't know. Alright. World. Okay, this one's another one where I'm like, do I center it? I think I want it over here actually, just to help it jaunt a little bit. See, again, I could be using my multi-purpose tool to help me here. I'm not. Oh, oops, I did that. I'm making a jump. But yeah, sometimes I use it to help me make little minor adjustments before sticking it all the way down. Is a little tedious. I think the title is probably the most tedious part of this whole layout, but it's really not too hard. And you could cut something out on your Cricut. That's fine. My Cricut's still packed away from a retreat I went to, so I have not gotten it back out. It's so funny. It takes me forever to unpack, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to turn. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to have to turn around and pack again. So you know, it's rough. I'm gonna have to pull it out for those last few title pages I need to do for Disney though. So. Alright, so there's my title, yay! Oops, I just threw my sticker sheet off the side there. I'll get it. Alright, so next, our final step would be to journal and embellish. Obviously, I'm going to want to write what these treats all were, so I can remember them. That way I don't have to like keep pulling up my little book to remind me. But, let's see, what time is it? I don't want to leave you guys on too long. I'll just quickly show you guys some embellishments I could use here. I really like the Boho Escape ones. Oh, jewels. I did mix and mingle some of the jewels from other collections, so this is fun. I like that. I might run with that unless I have a smaller journal box. I don't need a huge one. This blue one would be good to help bring out. Either one's really good. I think I like the blue to help bring out the other colors. And a lot of times, when I get at a loss for where to put embellishments, I look at the example and I'm going, oh, okay, that's kind of what they did. So I could, you know, put some leaves, like layer this up, make it really cute and pretty. And since my title's on there, I could go over like that. I have a pineapple here, even though nothing on there's pineapple. Still fun. But really, you don't need a lot to embellish this page. It's already got a lot going on. So you could just do this little cluster like they have on the example. If you want to add some things, I would suggest maybe up here, maybe a little bit here, but I would keep it very simple for this one. So I'm probably going to do something along these lines. I'll do that off camera and then share how it ends up. But I thank you guys for watching, especially if you watch live. You got to watch me go through all the pains of miscutting and yeah, it happens more than you think. And if you watch me live before, you go, yeah, we know. But go ahead and if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build that audience up more and more, especially with the wonky things happening with Facebook Lives lately. Just so you don't lose me and I don't lose you. And so you can see every, you know, like I do sneak peeks on there, all kinds of stuff. So you'll want to subscribe to that. And I would love to have you in my community. So remember to post your page on my Ashley Scrappy VIPs when you get it done by midnight on Thursday. That way you can get in my little drawing. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.